Channel 2 News at 6 o'clock.
Channel 2, WBBM TV, Chicago. Don Craig, Harry Porterfield, John Coughlin, and Johnny Morris, with the Channel 2 News at 6.
Chicago voters standing in line, standing up to be counted in the race for mayor. Never have so many people voted in this city, and never have their votes counted for so much. Good evening from Channel 2 Election Headquarters. As you can see, Walter is joining Harry and me tonight for our election coverage. Almost 5.5 million people have voted in Chicago's race for mayor. They're choosing between the Democrat Harold Washington and the Republican Bernard Epton.
The polls will close in less than an hour, so let's get the final projection of voter turnout from Carol Krause at the Board of Election Commissioners. Carol?
Harry, the turnout projection at this hour is 88%. Now, the numbers are so high that any predictions about what that means for whom are meaningless. The election is really up for grabs tonight. The numbers could total more than 1.4 million votes. The turnout is unquestionably of unprecedented proportions. They voted in big numbers on the west side.
Push this card all the way in, and this, how far do you push it?
Push as far as you go until you get to the arrows.
On the south side, on the lakefront, and the northwest side. Even by noon, it was clear the turnout was making history in this election that is being watched by the entire world.
Historically, this is the highest turnout we've ever had, as far as we know, for a municipal election. It approaches the highest we've had for any election. In 1944, we had a 91% turnout for a presidential election.
The other big story of the day is here at Election Central at the Board of Election Commissioners. The extra attorneys hired to handle voter complaints have found themselves with time to spare.
Well, the complaints we've been receiving are about half of what we had in the primary, and we're very happy to note that fact.
The number of complaints has dwindled because of the massive effort by the Board of Elections and law enforcement agencies. There are Republican judges, Democratic judges, poll watchers watching the judges, a uniformed police officer watching the poll watchers and judges, and investigators from the state's attorney's office checking them all.
We all have our credentials on here?
Yes, we do.
We have credentials on, sir?
Poll watchers.
Okay, are your credentials on file, sir?
There have been other spot checks by people from the Attorney General's office, the U.S. Attorney, and the FBI. U.S. Marshals are also standing by. This woman was scheduled to be an election judge in the 12th Ward, but was turned away.
We feel that it may be discriminatory because the other judge and myself are both Latinos.
Already, she has been interviewed by the Attorney General's office. Also in the 12th Ward, this woman had a complaint.
Once I voted my ballot, she took the ballot and she looked directly into the light and she can tell who I voted for.
And in one precinct, in the 9th Ward, they ran out of ballots at 9:30 this morning and were not resupplied until 1:30. Now, Mike Lavelle, tell us overall how clean has this election been?
Well, all our indications right now point to a very clean election. And I'm just hopeful that that's going to be the case. We really can't tell based on what we know now. We do know of some wrongdoing that's occurred. We met with Dan Webb earlier. You were present. He's going to be taking custody. He, through the U.S. Marshal's Office, will have custody of all of the records. If there was fraud there, I'm confident that it will be found and that the wrongdoers will be dealt with severely.
Are you willing to say you believe this has been the cleanest election in recent history in Chicago?
Well, I'd love to be able to say that, but I can recall the evening of November the 2nd saying that I thought that was a very clean election, and I was never shocked to the point of being staggered like that in my life within a few days after that election. So I'm just not willing to say that it is the cleanest election. I do think that all of the indications are that it was a very clean election, and we'll just have to wait to see to verify that.
Now, with 1 hour left to go, the projection for voter turnout is 88%. How firm is that?
I think it's very firm. I think it's based upon our latest sampling, and the 6 o'clock sampling is generally the one that is our most reliable projection. So I've taken and gone back historically, and while it's true that we've got dynamics here in this election that don't exist in others, at least based on the way we've been doing this over the years, it seems to me that we're going to be pretty firm at 88%.
Thank you, Mike Lavelle. Carol Krause reporting live from the Election Board.